Hi, so for the last technique which we are going to learn tonight is we're going to learn how to do couching. So couching is basically a technique where you are using a stitch to trap fibres onto the base of your fabric. It's one of my favourite techniques to use because I feel that you can get a lot of texture and it's really effective, and you can create some really beautiful samples from this technique. So I'm just going to show you just a couple of these type of techniques here and how you can create your own. So again, I've got my hoop ready to go. This is my thread that I want to trap. So sometimes what I like to do, you can either have it as single, but I think for the purpose, just so you guys can see it better, I'm just going to overlap my thread like so. And usually with couching, some people like to use a contrast thread to trap your fibre. But it's totally up to yourself. You can do it as a tonal effect, or you can do it as a contrast. For tonight's class, I'm going to do it as a contrast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my thread that I want to trap, and then just going to come up under my hoop again. Also make sure that you've put a wee knot on the end of your thread that you're using. And then I'm just going to come through here. So I'm going to go across my thread just to make sure you can see here that it's been trapped. So it's up to yourself if you want to try and keep your distance between your stitches the same, or if you want to be a little bit more random with it. I'm going to try and keep mine as close as possible. And with couching, you can either keep it again like in a straight line, or with this you can sort of play about with the shape of your couching. So for example, I'll just finish that one off. I might decide, actually, do you know what, I want this thread to sort of create a nice shape. So think about this as well for when you come to do your personal samples. This is like such a good technique to sort of really get that sort of shape from your bark or your trees or whatever it is that you're going to be taking forward for from your research. So you can really create sort of nice shapes doing this technique. And you can see that each time you are sort of just trapping that into the fabric. So again, you're just coming up under your hoop, going across the item that you're wanting to trap onto the base of your fabric, and just pulling through. I'm just going to shape that like so. Again, just coming up and just heading back down. And you just continue just to do this until you feel that you have trapped your fabric in as much as you want. So I'm just going to finish up here. Oh, managed to get my needle cut. Hold on, got a wee loop on the go here. There we go. So it's such a nice, easy way to sort of create really nice effective shapes on the base of your fabric. Now, again, I've got different sort of techniques going on here. I've taken some calico and just trapped that in. I've then taken a little bit of calico and I've frayed it, and it's just created like a nice sort of textured effect. I've then got some wool that I've just had lying around, and again I've just used that to sort of trap in into the base of the fabric as well. So it is like a really nice technique to use. So again, just for the purpose of for tonight's class, I'm just going to get my needle and I'm just going to come up under. I'm just going to, again, you might want it to lay a little bit flat, so you can sort of decide the tension of what you want to create from your couching. And again, just come up and come back down. Once you get the first couple of stitches out of the way, it becomes a little bit easier to sort of control. And again, you may want to shape it again. Sometimes I quite like to twist the fabric that I'm using. It makes it a little bit easier. And again, you can sort of decide the level of the depth of your gaps that you want to create as well. So you can either have it all consistent, or you might decide, you know what, at this particular point I want to like have them kind of quite close together, like so. And I always quite like to do a contrast. You don't have to do a contrast, but I sometimes think it's quite nice so you can actually see the stitch. And again, if you decide that you want to just finish off, I'll just do one more stitch. And what you can do is just turn it around, put a knot in, that's you secured it. So you've got your nice sort of couching effect. And for tonight's class, we have covered our chain stitch, our cross stitch, and our couching techniques.